The dining room buzzes with laughter and clinking glasses. People brag about new cars, lake houses, and business wins. At the far end of the long oak table sits Anna Parker in a simple navy dress she bought on clearance years ago. She folds her hands in her lap and keeps her eyes on her plate. Anna teaches math at a middle school in Knoxville. She measures her life in students who finally get it, not in money. Tonight none of that seems to matter. Mark Parker, her husband, leans back with a bourbon and a showman's grin. "You know, Mom," he says loud enough for everyone, "some men marry partners in success. Anna insists on staying a schoolteacher. What does she make? 30 grand. Barely gas money." A polite ripple of laughter moves around the table. Ruth Parker, his mother, gives a sweet, poisonous smile. "He's not wrong, dear. Present yourself better." A wife reflects her husband. "Look at Bella Davenport. Always polished, always at Mark's side." Cousin Greg chimes in. "Saw Bella last week. She's stunning and she helps at Mark's events. That's a supportive partner." Anna presses her lips together. She thinks of her students and the spark in their eyes when a tough equation finally makes sense. "You embarrass me," Mark mutters into her ear, breath sharp with whiskey. "You don't dress like the other wives. You drag me down." When Ruth raises a toast to Mark's bright future and the family that supports him, Anna sets down her water and whispers inside, "Please let this night end." The SUV cuts through orange streetlights on the drive home. For a long moment neither of them speaks. Then Mark slams the steering wheel. "You sat there like a lump. Couldn't you try to keep up?" He waves a hand at her clothes. "Cheap dress. Worn-out shoes. Do you care how you make me look?" Anna turns to the window and watches neon signs blur by. "I care about our son," she says softly. Mark laughs. "Toby? Don't start. That boy lives in those dumb robotics kits. He needs football. Strength. Teamwork. Not wires." Anna straightens. "He's gifted. He builds and programs things most adults can't. He has a future." Mark sneers. "A future is what? Some nobody engineer? Football builds leaders. Robots build losers." The words hit like a punch. Anna presses a hand to her chest. "Mark, I can't breathe." He shoots her a tired glance. "Not this again. Always drama when things get real." Her body slumps sideways. The SUV jerks into the ER drop-off. Nurses rush a gurney. "Hypertensive crisis," a doctor says. "Severe stress." Bright lights glare overhead. Voices blur around her. "Oxygen. Monitor. Now." As the world fades, one thought rings in Anna's mind. Have I wasted half my life on a man who despises me? Anna wakes to a slow beep and the cool pinch of N4. A calm doctor leans over. "Mrs. Parker, your body sent a warning. This episode came from extreme stress. You need rest. We recommend a stress program, maybe a short wellness stay in the Smoky Mountains." Anna nods, throat tight. She sees the answer in his eyes. If she ignores this, next time could be worse. Mark sits by the window scrolling his phone. He looks up only when the doctor addresses him. "She can't return to the same stress," the doctor says. "That would be dangerous." Mark puts on a polished tone. "Of course we'll do what it takes." The door closes and the mask drops. He checks his watch. "You sure pick your moments. I had 2 big meetings." Anna stares at the ceiling. "I didn't choose this." He paces. "Fine. There's a retreat near Gatlinburg. Yoga. Meditation. A friend liked it. I'll book you for a few weeks. I'll handle things here." Anna hears what he doesn't say. He'll handle Bella. The next morning, nurses bring the discharge forms. Mark talks smoothly, signs quickly, and walks the papers to the desk like a helpful husband. Only Anna sees the impatience in his eyes, the eagerness to return to a life where she is an inconvenience. 2 days later, the retreat greets her with mist and tall pines. A cabin. A schedule. "Breathe in, breathe out," says the yoga teacher. Anna tries, but her mind returns to harsh laughs and cruel whispers. At night she sits by the window, mountains dark and endless, and asks herself, when did love turn into shame? She remembers when Mark once praised her kindness the way she believed in children. Now kindness feels like a stain he wants scrubbed away. Weeks pass. She eats carefully, walks trails, listens to talks about balance. Something quiet shifts inside her. Not hope, not yet, but the knowledge she cannot live the same way. When she returns to Knoxville, the apartment feels wrong. Too quiet. Too empty. Books are gone. The grading chair is gone. Photo frames leave pale rectangles on the wall. Mom, Toby whispers, running to her, hands shaking. Dad kept moving things. He said it was storage. But every day more disappeared. Keys turn. Mark walks in with cologne and a folder. You're back. Good. Saves me a trip. He opens the folder. Divorce petition. Simple. Sign the tabs. You're leaving us? Toby's voice cracks. Mark keeps his eyes on the papers. You'll still see me. I won't fund 2 households. He pours a drink. Be grateful I'm offering anything. Anna signs, hand steady, heartbreaking. The door closes on his satisfied smile. She holds Toby close. We'll be okay. We'll start over. Just you and me. The place Mark arranged is a single room on the edge of town. Thin walls. Peeling paint. A neon gas station humming across the street. Anna strings a sheet to give Toby a corner for sleep and lines his rescued robotics kits by the window. He tries to smile. At his new school, kids push football. Robotics isn't a real club, a coach tells him. Football builds character. Toby drags his backpack home, shoulders low. You don't have to quit, Anna says, kneeling to meet his eyes. What you love matters. She keeps her teaching job, but a new principal, Mr. Grant, runs the place like a business. In a meeting, he leans back and steeples his fingers. Some parents donate to ensure success. My staff cooperates. We're flexible with grades. Anna blinks. You're asking me to take bribes. His smile doesn't move. I'm asking you to be a team player. Anna shakes her head. I teach for learning, not for sale. The smile thins. Then life here will be difficult. It is. Extra classes. No pay. Endless paperwork. She comes home hoarse from teaching, hands ink-stained from grading, and quietly skips dinner so Toby can eat more. Bills stack. Child support adjusts down. One night the phone rings. Mark's voice. I'm cutting the support. Push back and I'll take custody. Judges like stable homes. The line goes dead. Anna sits in the glow of the gas station sign, tears silent, breath steadying. I won't break, she whispers. Not for him. Not for anyone. And somewhere inside, the first small flame of fight begins to burn. The next day, Mr. Grant calls Anna into his office again. The blinds are half closed, slicing the room into gray stripes. Mrs. Parker, he says, tapping a glossy pen against his desk, your refusal to, shall we say, adapt is causing friction. Anna folds her hands. I won't sell grades. He nods slowly like he's bored. Then you'll resign. Quietly. Or the board will make noise. Anna's pulse hammers, but her voice stays calm. I've done nothing wrong. He smiles thinly. Sometimes doing nothing is the problem. She walks out holding on to her dignity by the edges. That night, bills spread across the table like a storm. The phone rings. Mark again. Support's cut. Next month you'll get less. You can't, she says. The order, try me, he snaps. Push and I go for custody. Judges don't hand kids to broke moms in shoebox apartments. The line clicks dead. Anna sits very still. She won't cry. Not where Toby can hear. A minute later the phone rings again. A different voice. Calm, professional. Mrs. Parker? I'm James Whitfield, probate attorney. I'm calling about the estate of Eleanor Carter. Anna frowns. I don't know her. A distant cousin. You're named as heir. A house, land, some assets, he says. There's one condition. Live in the house for a year. Anna closes her eyes. A house. Sounds like a scam. I won't send money, she says. You won't need to, he answers. Just meet me. She hangs up, stunned. Toby's eyes are wide. A house. In the mountains. Anna manages a small smile. Maybe it's our turn for something good. 2 days later they drive toward the Smokies, the road curling between green shoulders of mountain. Townsend appears like a postcard. One main street, a diner with a neon pie sign, a hardware store with wind chimes. James Whitfield meets them at a small office. He's tall, gray at the temples, voice gentle. He lays out papers, a simple map, a key. Miss Carter wanted you to have a fresh start, he says. She noted your work with kids. Anna blinks. She knew I teach? He nods. Said you'd honor the place. They follow a dirt drive that seems to climb forever until the house comes into view. A wide porched, weathered beauty wrapped in quiet. Toby bolts from the car. Mom. It's huge. The front door groans open. Inside, a stone-framed fireplace, a long dining table, a library whose shelves reach the ceiling. Sunlight drifts through tall windows and lands on dust like snow. Anna's throat tightens. It feels safe, she whispers. Toby finds a room filled with old model kits and manuals. It's like it was saved for me, he says, running a hand over a scarred workbench. That evening a knock sounds. A man in boots and overalls stands on the porch, cap in hand. Evening. Name's Ed Collins. Kept up this place for Miss Eleanor. His eyes soften. She had a good heart. Said this house should stay with folks who'd protect it. Ed walks them through the creaks and quirks. The stubborn back door, the pipe that needs coaxing, the fuse box that behaves if you speak kindly. On the porch he lowers his voice. One more thing. Some folks round here talk about treasure. Anna's brows lift. Treasure. He nods toward the hills. Since the war. Stories say Confederate gold passed through these ridges. Miss Eleanor never bragged, but she hinted there's history under this dirt. History that draws the wrong kind. He sighs. A man named Eldon Reeves. Calls himself a developer. Been sniffin' after this land for years. As if summoned, a polished pickup crawls past the gate the next morning. A tall man in a tailored jacket steps out, smile too smooth. Mrs. Parker? Eldon Reeves. Mountain View Development. Prime spot you've got. Vacation rentals would sing on this ridge. I can make you a generous offer. Anna keeps her voice polite. The house isn't for sale. His smile tightens. Big place for a schoolteacher. Old houses eat money. Think about it. He leaves a card and a look that lingers like smoke. That night, after Toby sleeps, Anna wanders the library. A leather journal hides behind encyclopedias. On the first page, neat cursive, Eleanor Carter. The entries begin with gardens and repairs, then darken. Men at the door, questions about the land, a name underlined twice. Do not trust Eldon Reeves. Anna reads until the lamp pools gold on the desk. Eleanor writes of rumors passed down through Carter women, of maps sketched in secret, of what lies beneath must never be sold. There are small drawings, ridge lines, a crooked oak, a rock outcrop like a sleeping bear. Anna's skin prickles. She tucks the journal away as tires hiss on gravel outside. A shadow drifts past a window. The hair on her arms lifts. Morning brings crisp air and Ed with a sack of apples. When she mentions the shadow, his jaw sets. You lock your doors, he says. And if Reeves shows with smiles and papers, you call me. Later, Toby darts into the library, eyes bright. Mom, look. He's holding a yellowed envelope wedged behind a false back. Inside is brittle parchment inked with careful lines. The same ridge shapes Eleanor drew, the sleeping bear rock, an X just beyond the back fence. Anna swallows. We're not chasing stories, she says gently, locking the map away. Not with a man like Reeves circling. Toby nods, but his curiosity buzzes like a live wire. That night the house pops and sighs as old houses do. Anna lies awake, listening to the mountain breathe and promising herself she will not be bullied off land entrusted to her. Tuesday at dawn, a knock. Reeves stands on the porch in a spotless jacket, flanked by two men, one with a county badge, one with a fat folder. Mrs. Parker, Reeves says smoothly, for your safety the county recommends you sell. Landslide risk. Liability. Let us take this off your hands. The commissioner clears his throat. A notice of condemnation is on the table, ma'am. Anna keeps her hand on the door, her voice even. This home has stood 100 years. I'll review any documents with my attorney. Reeves's smile flickers at the word. No need to complicate a simple solution. I'll need time, she repeats and closes the door. Toby is at the stairs, fists tight. They can't make us leave, right? She kneels. We'll prove the truth. That afternoon in the cellar, Toby taps a warped plank. Feels hollow. Together they pry boards and find a narrow stair spiraling into cool earth. The flashlight beam shivers over stone walls and a room kept by silence alone. Crates, trunks, wax-sealed bundles. A leather ledger crumbles under Anna's thumbs. Names, dates, lists of items hidden when soldiers moved through the hills. A diary entry from an ancestor reads, "We guard what money cannot buy, records, letters, the story itself." This isn't just treasure, Anna breathes. It's history. James Whitfield drives up the next morning, breath fogging in the cool air as Anna spreads ledgers, letters, and a careful handful of artifacts across a table. His eyes widen. If authentic and they look it, this is significant. Not just for you. For the county. He advises restraint. Secure the space, document everything, tell a trustworthy local reporter to create daylight. Sunlight keeps crooks away, he says. Anna calls the Sevier County Gazette. A young journalist named Kay shows up with a camera and a notebook. She listens more than she talks, photographs the careful evidence and asks permission before every step. "We'll verify with a historian," she promises. By Saturday the Gazette runs a front-page story. Hidden Civil War cache found on Carter Estate. Development plans questioned. Phones light up. Neighbors drive by with casserole and curiosity. The pastor offers church volunteers to help catalog. The Historical Society leaves a message with cautious excitement. Reeves sputters on a radio colon. "Fakes," he says. "Junk staged to stop progress." But whispers rise about his past. Hard sells to elders, threats, forged surveys. People start talking. At the emergency county meeting, the courtroom is packed. Kay sits near the aisle with her camera bag. Ed leans on the back wall, arms crossed. Reeves presents slick boards about safety and jobs, voice smooth as glass. Anna waits, fingers laced to stop the tremble. When called, she steps to the mic. "My name is Anna Parker. I teach math. I'm raising one boy who loves robots. I didn't ask for this house. It was entrusted to me. We found ledgers, letters, and artifacts in a sealed room. The Historical Society is reviewing them. This isn't just land. It's story. It belongs to the community that lived it." Murmurs ripple. A state investigator stands. "We've opened an inquiry into illegal artifact hunting." His eyes cut to Reeves. Certain names keep recurring. Reeves's jaw tightens. The commissioner who'd flanked him days ago suddenly speaks like a stranger. "We will pause all development decisions pending the investigation and historical review." It exhales. Someone claps. Then many do. Reeves leaves through a side door, face pale. Anna sits, shoulders shaking, Toby's small hand warm in hers. For the first time in months, fear loosens its grip. The next weeks move like sunlight across the floor, slow but sure. The court affirms Anna as rightful heir. The one-year condition stands, but the clock is already ticking in her favor. The Historical Society sends experts with gentle hands and careful tags. They praise the sealed chamber, the preserved paper. Kay's follow-up story focuses on responsibility, not scandal. Teacher who said no bribes says yes to history. Donations arrive, archive boxes, dehumidifiers, a grant application link. At school, Anna interviews with the local principal and is hired in a day. "We need math minds," he says grinning. "And we like honest ones." Her schedule is humane. Her ideas are welcome. She walks home lighter. Toby enters the county science fair with a voice command robot. When it pivots left and fetches a foam block on cue, the gym erupts. A professor from the University of Tennessee shakes Toby's hand. "Come visit our lab," he says. "We like builders." On the drive home, Toby clutches a ribbon and grins at the mountains. "Feels like we belong here," he whispers. Anna blinks back happy tears. "We do." News spreads of Reeves's other deeds. Quiet sales pushed on widows, surveys that don't match county records, artifacts found and lost. The state investigator moves fast. Warrants. Photos. Paper trails. Reeves's voice disappears from the radio. His lawyer speaks instead and says far less. The county holds another meeting, and this time the tone is different. "We will move to recognize the Carter property as a protected historic site pending full review," the chair announces. Applause rises like a wave. Afterward, neighbors bring pies, seeds for the garden, stories about Miss Eleanor teaching Bible verses to toddlers and slipping lunch money into quiet hands. Ed shows up with cedar boards and repairs the back steps whistling. On a cool evening, Anna, Toby, and Ed sit on the porch with mugs of apple cider. The mountains breathe in long blue shadows. "You did right, Miss Anna," Ed says. You stood your ground. Anna smiles into the dusk. I didn't do it alone. Toby leans on her shoulder. Mom, he asks, do you think Dad knows what he lost? Anna looks at the ridgeline, heart steady. Maybe. But what matters is what we found. Life settles into a rhythm that feels like peace. Morning light spills across the long table while Anna grades papers and Toby sketches gears. Afternoons she teaches in a school that thanks her for caring. Evenings neighbors drift in and out, curious about old letters and delighted by Toby's new prototypes. Mark's world, built on image, sags without Bella's shine. A rumor reaches town that his business folded and he moved to a small rental outside Nashville. He doesn't call. He doesn't fight custody. And one day Anna realizes the sweetest part of the whole story. She doesn't care what he does anymore. On a Saturday she and Toby hang a simple sign in the library. Carter Room, local history in progress. They laugh at how official it looks. Kay snaps a photo for a small human interest piece. What's next, she asks. Anna thinks of her students, of Toby's robot turning on command, of letters that survived war because a family decided story was worth protecting. Next. Anna says, smiling. We keep building. One honest piece at a time. The porch creaks as the evening cool settles, and for the first time since the night of that cruel dinner, the future feels wide open. Autumn deepens in the mountains, the ridges glowing amber and gold. Anna breathes easier here, the air sharp and clean. At school she finds herself laughing in the teacher's lounge, something she hasn't done in years. Toby bounds through the house after classes, excited to show her a new robot that can wave its arms. Watch this, Mom, he beams as the machine lifts a tin can. She claps with pride. The house feels alive now, full of purpose. But on some nights when the wind howls against the windows, Anna still wonders if Reeves is out there plotting. She pushes those thoughts aside and keeps moving forward. One chilly evening Reeves corners her outside the grocery store. His smile is stretched thin. You've made this harder than it needs to be, he says. Anna pushes her cart forward, refusing to stop. This isn't for sale. His voice drops lower. People who hold on to things too tightly sometimes lose everything. Anna grips the cart handle, forcing her legs to keep walking. Later she tells Ed. His jaw clenches. He's desperate now. Don't let him scare you. That night Anna tucks Toby in and whispers, we're safe. I promise. But sleep comes slowly, her ears tuned to every sound outside. The Historical Society visits again, this time with state officials. They catalog the letters and ledgers carefully. One smiles at Anna. Mrs. Parker, this property is a gem. With your permission, we'd like to begin the process of making it a listed historic site. Relief washes through her. Yes, of course, she answers. When the officials leave, she sits on the porch, heart light for the first time in months. Toby joins her with a blanket around his shoulders. Does this mean no one can take it away? She pulls him close. That's exactly what it means. News of Reeves's downfall spreads fast. Photos show investigators carrying boxes out of his office. Locals whisper about bribes, forged surveys, even stolen artifacts from other counties. Reeves avoids town, his polished truck nowhere to be seen. Anna feels a weight lift. For the first time since inheriting the estate, she doesn't glance over her shoulder when walking the property. Ed brings a basket of apples and sets it on her porch. Told you, he says with a grin. You stood firm and he fell. Meanwhile, Mark's world crumbles. Bella Davenport leaves him for a wealthier man with real influence. His business contracts dry up. Debts mount. Anna hears from a mutual acquaintance that he moved into a cramped apartment outside Nashville. He doesn't call, doesn't send letters, doesn't ask about Toby. And one day she realizes she feels nothing about it. Not anger, not longing. Just nothing. That she knows is freedom. At school, Anna's students thrive. She brings new methods to the classroom, using games and puzzles to make math come alive. Mrs. Parker makes numbers fun, one boy tells the principal. The words reach Anna later and she smiles. After years of feeling small and discarded, she is reminded why she chose this path in the first place. Teaching matters. It always has. Toby's reputation spreads too. His small robots draw crowds at science fairs. A university professor invites him to tour their lab. Local businesses pitch in money for supplies. Your boy's got something special, neighbors tell Anna. She watches him stand taller, shoulders squared, no longer the shy kid mocked for liking machines. Her heart swells. Keep building, Toby, she tells him. The world needs minds like yours. Winter comes and the house glows with warmth. Friends from town gather for cider and cookies. Ed tells stories by the fire. Children chase each other through the halls. For Anna, this community feels like the family she never had with the Parkers. One evening she catches her reflection in the old dining room mirror. Stronger, steadier, her eyes brighter. She no longer sees the humiliated woman who once sat silent at her husband's dinner table. She sees a survivor. By spring, the Carter estate is officially listed as a protected site. The plaque arrives in the mail and Anna mounts it proudly by the porch. Look, Mom. Toby beams. It has your name. She laughs softly. Ours, Toby. This is our legacy now. Visitors come to see the artifacts. Anna gives careful tours, explaining Eleanor's journals, the sealed chamber, and the importance of history. She finds joy in sharing it. Mark tries once to reach out, sending a brief message through an old family friend. Tell Anna I want to see my son. She lets Toby decide. His answer is simple. I don't want to. Anna honors it. The past has no hold over them now. As months pass, Anna rediscovers herself. She reads again, paints the shutters, learns to bake bread. She laughs more easily, breathes more deeply. The stress that once nearly killed her has melted into quiet strength. She realizes that she is no longer surviving, she is living. One afternoon she and Toby walk the ridge behind the house. The air smells of pine and the mountains stretch endless before them. Toby stops and says, Do you think Dad ever regrets losing us? Anna looks out at the horizon. Maybe. But what matters is what we've built here. They stand together in silence, the boy holding the robot he just finished, the woman holding a heart no longer broken. In town, people now greet Anna with warmth. She is no longer Mark Parker's wife. She is Anna Parker, the teacher, the heir who defended history, the mother raising a gifted boy. The identity fills her with pride. One summer evening, the porch creaks under their chairs as fireflies blink in the grass. Toby sets his robot on the railing and it waves stiffly at the setting sun. Anna laughs. Even your machines enjoy the view. He grins. It's home, Mom. She nods, her chest swelling with peace. Yes, it is. The mountains hum quietly in the twilight, steady and ancient. Anna sips her coffee, Toby leans against her, and together they watch the sun slip behind the ridges. Once she was humiliated, abandoned, nearly broken. Now she is whole. Strong, free. The house, the community, and her son's bright future remind her daily that hope can grow in even the darkest soil. She whispers into the mountain air, we made it. And this time she believes it. Moral lesson. When life strips away what we thought defined us, marriage, status, wealth, it often leaves behind what truly matters. Integrity, resilience, and love. Anna discovered that the greatest strength is found not in pleasing others but in standing firm for herself and her child. Betrayal may wound, but courage and honesty can rebuild a life brighter than